Hey, what up everybody, how you doing? Welcome back for another round of deals as we head into the weekend. Thank you as always for hanging out with us for a few minutes again today. I hope everyone enjoyed our last video where we covered games in that $10 to $15 range, and today we're going to step it down a tier and look at games under $10. Now, while these games may be cheaper, they are by no means any less valuable. Some of the best indie games on the Switch can be picked up for $10 or less, as you all know. And this morning we did a spotlight for a game that you can get for just 23 cents if you take advantage of the anniversary sale going on by Cubic Games right now. I'll have a video link down below with all the details. And if you're new here and you enjoyed the video, leave us a like and drop me a comment down below so I know what type of games you're into. And of course, if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest deals each week, join our crew by hitting that red button down below. Alright everybody, let's go ahead and dive in. Stay safe and enjoy the video. Alright, we'll start with Iconoclasts, which is a single-player action platformer with a nearly 15-hour main story, and it comes in at just under 200 megabytes for the download. Now in this one we play as a young mechanic named Robin, and it's our duty to put the world back together, as things have sort of been falling apart, and she'll need her trusty wrench to fix things up. Now the game features more than 20 cool boss battles, environmental puzzles, and it can get a bit intense. There is a difficulty slider to help out though, and it runs great here on the Switch. Right now you can pick it up for just $5.99, marked down 70%, and the deal ends on the 26th. Lost in Random is a single-player action-adventure style game with a download around 4.2 gigs and a main story that should last more than 15 hours to finish up. Now this one is a Gothic Fairytale inspired adventure for sure, where the roll of the dice determines everyone's fate. We have to explore through the 6 different shadowy realms in an attempt to take down the evil queen. The combat is sort of a blend of action, tactics, and deck building, and I think it's a must play at this price. Right now it's back on sale at an all-time low of just $5.99, and the deal ends on the 27th. Up next we have Rogue Heroes Ruins of Tasos, which is a multiplayer focused top-down adventure type game that plays a lot like the classic top-down Zelda titles from the 90s. It has a download around 1.8 gigs and offers nearly 20 hours of main story gameplay on average, plus you have the ability to team up with 3 other people online and play the entire game together. There's also a town building aspect of the game that adds even more value to an already filled game. It can be a bit tough at times, but if you stick with it, you'll definitely power up your characters enough that you'll make it through. Right now it's on sale for just $5.99, marked down 70%, and the deal ends on the 1st. Next we have Valkyria Chronicles, which is a single-player strategy RPG from Sega with a pretty hefty download around 7.5 gigs, but it does offer players a ton of content with more than 30 hours of story, and for some, it's a game that they'll come back to again and again. I read a review that said it's kind of like playing a game of chess, but the video game equivalent with a new scenario every time, and I think that's a pretty good way to sum it up. The port is amazing, and it also includes all of the DLC as well, and right now it's on sale for just $5.99, marked down 70% until the 26th. Next we have Blasphemous, which is a single-player 2D Metroidvania with more of a Souls-like feel to it, with the combat system and of course how the enemies respawn, plus you'll need to reclaim any lost currency upon death. Now this one has some of the best pixel art graphics. It's truly disturbing the way some of the enemies and boss animations work. It does have a pretty hefty download around 7 gigs, so keep that in mind, but it does offer more than 20 to 25 hours of gameplay on average. And on top of that, Team 17 just added DLC for even more action. Right now you can pick it up for just $6.24, marked down 75% and matching an all-time low until the 1st. Up next we have Greek Memories of Azur. This is a gorgeous single-player puzzle platformer with a download around 1.6 gigs, and it offers an emotional story that should last about 8 to 9 hours to complete. Now the unique feature with this one is that the game allows you and at times requires you to play as multiple characters at one time. It is very creative, and while it may take a couple of minutes to get the hang of the controls, once you do, you'll start to naturally just kind of work the puzzles out in your head and get around the levels in no time. On top of that, the combat is fun, the controls feel great, and it's never a chore to play either. Right now you can pick it up for just $7.99, marked down 60% until the 1st, and this is a true hidden gem. Up next we have Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition. This is a fantastic action RPG with a hefty download around 13 gigs, but it will offer more than 50 hours of gameplay, and it has a really unique combat system along with an intriguing story and memorable characters. On top of that, this version includes all of the DLC and the new playable character, and even has all of the enhancements that were made over time. If you're interested in Tales of Vesperia or you're a fan of action RPGs, make sure to grab up the definitive edition before the sale ends on the 26th. It's marked down 84% to just $7.99, again an all-time low. Cozy Grove is a single-player adventure life sim type of game from Spry Fox with a main story that could last more than 40 hours, but there are also daily tasks that change up each day, so it really depends on how much you enjoy the game. Now this is a life sim where you camp out on a haunted island, and over time as you explore the forest each day, you'll eventually bring color and joy back to Cozy Grove. Again, I think it's pretty cool that they give you a reason to come back every day, and the hand-drawn art and animations plus the peaceful soundtrack are top-notch. It's the perfect game to chill out with after a long day, and right now you can pick it up at a new low price of just $8.88, and the deal ends on the 19th. Next we have New Super Lucky's Tale, which is a single-player 3D platformer that offers roughly 8 to 10 hours of story, and the download is just over 7.5 gigs. Now with this one, we're back following Lucky on his latest adventure through the Book of Ages, this time with a fun story and a variety of cool levels to make your way through. The game is also a collectathon with interesting and engaging puzzles to solve along the way, and it runs well here on the Switch, with a simple-to-learn control scheme making it fun for all ages. Right now you can pick up New Super Lucky's Tale for just $9.89, marked down 67%, and the deal ends on the 26th. Ashen is an action RPG with a download just under 5 gigs, and it has a main story that should last about 20 to 25 hours to finish up. Now the game also offers online options as well, as long as you can find someone to play with, but if you can, it is pretty stable. The game has that familiar Souls-like feel to the combat and the leveling system, and it has a randomly generated open world to explore, where each playthrough is a bit different from the last. Aside from the combat, you also have an in-depth crafting system as well, and again the game is no joke. Every enemy is deadly and there are a ton of enemies trying to take you out at all times. If you're interested in Ashen, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 1st. Right now it's marked down 75% and matching an all-time low of just $9.99. Alright everybody, here are a few other games to check out while you're already on the eShop. Alright everybody, thank you all so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video or you like the Switch, we have plenty more content on the channel. Feel free to check it out.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!